In this tutorial, I wanted to go through a couple browser options that are available to you. So in Windows 10, you have two default browsers that'll be installed on the computer. Microsoft Edge, which is their newer browser that they released with Windows 10. And then you have Internet Explorer, which is a little revamped from the old Internet Explorer, but it's still pretty much just garbage. So I generally would recommend, if you don't want to install a new browser, that you go with Microsoft Edge. Now, the one that I primarily use is Google Chrome, and the reason that I use Google Chrome is because it has, well, Google Docs built into it. Google Docs is kind of like Microsoft Office, but instead of being paid, it's a free suite that you can use. So let's go into Google Docs really quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So Google Docs is going to be just like word processor from Microsoft. The only difference is you don't have to pay for Google Documents. So we can go in and create a new one real quick, just so I can show you what it's like. So this is all going to be saved online. You can save it to your computer and you can run Google Docs from your desktop, but for some people it's just nice having it online, such as college students and stuff like that. So there's Google Docs. Looks just like word processor. So now I'm going to go ahead and close that. So also with Google Chrome, you have the apps that you can attach to Google Chrome. So the one thing that I like is you can get an ad blocker and put it on your browser. So that way, if you're watching YouTube videos or you're going through and going on to a bunch of different sites that, let's say, they have autoplay videos, stuff like that, you can disable it. So I'm trying to remember. So I'm gonna do a search for it real quick. So it's called ad blocker. And then the nice thing is that you can just go ahead, click install, attach it to your browser, and then you're good to go. So that's a nice feature of it. Also, you can get different themes for your browser. So some people like having the dark theme as opposed to this light theme like this guy. So you can go through and select different themes. These are all created by people and available for free. So the last part that I like about Google Chrome is the fact that it's more secure, as what I've found, than some other browsers. So when I say secure, I mean there's a lot less chance of any of your data that you input into the web browser being taken by people online, such as hackers and stuff like that. Whereas with other browsers such as Firefox, it feels like there's less security on that, because I noticed that ads pop up a lot more, and the display ads that say, oh, your computer has a virus, stuff like that, that displays a lot more on Firefox and Microsoft Edge than Google Chrome and Opera. Or Oprah, or however it's pronounced. So the next browser that we'll go to Opera. Now, none of these guys right here, these three, are not installed on the computer by default. You have to download them yourself. I just went through and downloaded them to save time. So Opera is a nice browser because you can link your Facebook Messenger or your WhatsApp directly to the browser. Now, for some of you, that's not going to matter, so you'd probably just use Edge or Chrome. For those who are kind of social network gurus, this is more of a benefit to them. I've used this for a couple years, and I haven't found myself using that very much, so I just switched back to Google Chrome. There are a bunch of features in here. You can go through, organize your bookmarks on the side here. There's a bunch of different settings. I still prefer Google Chrome over Opera, but it's worth checking out because they're all free and they're all pretty much secure besides Firefox. So, with that being said, let's go into Firefox. So Firefox is a browser that is installed by default on Linux softwares, Linux operating systems, and it is very good for developers with their was it Mozilla directory or something like that. So for developers and people who are doing like web design, web programming, stuff like that, you can go through and use the tools and view website code, stuff like that. So it's good for developers. It's good for people who are learning that kind of thing. As the every day-to-day browser, it's not my favorite. Now there are more online. There's a lot more online. There's DuckDuckGo, which is one that is another open source browser. That one is kind of one that's very secure. When you go through and use it, it just erases your search history right away. But other than that, that's pretty much all the web browsers that I would showcase, just for the sheer fact of these are the better ones of the ones that are out there. So Google Chrome, Opera, and Microsoft Edge. So if that was helpful, let me know. If you want to see something else, such as me going through the App Store, or if you need to know anything else, just let me know.